Okay, I went through one by one, row by row, if you will. And well, first of all, I kind of looked at the whole scheme of things, and I went through and I picked out some reds up there because I didn't have any down here, and I brought them forward. But then I went through stringer by stringer to make sure that I didn't have any two of the exact same color matching. Now, in a lot of places, I have two reds together, and I might have two greens together, but I do not have any two of the same color matching. Then you kind of have to stand back and look at it and see if it looks muddy or if you need some other colors. So I went through and as I was looking one by one, where I found like maybe two of the same red up here, I'd pull one out and I'd bring it down here. I kind of like this green running through here, but now that I see it, I think I need another red in the middle of it, so I'm going to take it out, and it looks like there's two of the light greens there. There's really not, and so I put that in, and I am happier with that now. So the next step is to spread them out very carefully. These guys want to roll over the top of each other, and quite honestly, I don't think that once I got them rolled out that I went back and checked mine. You know, I think that stuff's going to happen regardless. So the next thing that I want to do, I need to bring these down here to the line, and I'm doing that. And you'll feel them roll against each other and flip over the top. And I am way over the line up here, which that doesn't matter. But what I'm going to do is very gently, a few at a time, I'm going to roll them up here to this line that represents 100% of the size that we need. And before I decide that's how I'm going to do it, I'm going to look at it. So that's just an estimate when you first do it. Here in rolling, I see again there's another one that's jumped ship. And in fact, there's two different ones here. So I need to, if you see them, replace them. If you don't, it's not anything that's going to hurt your design. It's one stinking little stringer, for gosh sakes, right? So I'm just going to keep doing this, but as you do it, keep in mind too that these are kind of shifting this way too, and you want them even. So, or straight across, I should say, and not on an angle. Now, at the 100% line, if I try to get these all evenly spread out, which isn't the easiest thing to do, quite honestly, I don't know that I like that much behind them. But I need that, I need that size up to the 100%. So I can, gosh, some of it there's not a lot in between. I'm going to spread them out. But I think I am going to add something. I'm just not quite sure yet. I think up here at the top, I can probably use a couple more greens, the dark greens for that dark color in there. So I'm going to throw a couple of more of those in here. And I'm going to keep looking and see. I like that green in there. I'm having trouble seeing the plum because I have a feeling that it brightens up too after it's been fired. So I'm kind of showing you how I'm doing this, which was not my intention to begin with. Not that I'm trying to keep anything from you, but for the sake of time, I wasn't going to sit here and keep adding stringers, but since I want this more coverage, that's just exactly what I'm going to do here and see what we come up with. As I said before, the the mauve up against the reds when they're fired are really, really cool looking. So let me see what I like this a little bit better. That guy's up, and that's the problem, they jump up too. So I do think I like that. And you see, I don't know if you counted how many I put on there. I didn't, but I wouldn't say there was more than 5 or 6 that I put on. So here I have it. There's my 100% mark. They need to be spread a little bit, but I want to show you the next step, what we're going to do. The next steps, we're going to even these sides up, and we're going to take the ruler and up against the side of the glass, and then we're going to try to move this side in first. Then we're going to come over to this side, and don't laugh at me because I am left-handed. I'm going to come through here and do this very gently too, because they still want to jump. And I'm going to move these guys in, and when all else fails, use your finger. But once you have them kind of straight, you see I have stringers that are longer, so you're going to pick what side that stays on, and those are going to stay over there. But I want to even these up because we are going to be cutting all this too. So I want to kind of push some of these other guys up against this side. When we're finished, we're going to come in, and this might be another way to make sure you kind of have everything even. It looks to me like I'm pushed over further up here than down here. That's going to make a difference when we cut. So maybe this extra stringer is going to be on the other side, which will help me since I cut from left to right. So let's see what we come up with here. My photographer's sitting down, so just bear with me. Jay, you don't have to come over. Just bear with me with this. I don't want to use up your computer space and mine, but just kind of bear with me here as I do this. And then I'm coming back, and I'm gonna look at it and see that I'm pretty well spread out here, and that what I see through it, and that's why I put it down on white so you can see and so I can see too. But what I can see through there is what's going to show through from the back if I put a color backing on here, which I more than likely will do, particularly if I think it's going to go into a stand. So I think I have it pretty evenly spaced, but you can see I have probably a good 1/4 of an inch up here and nothing over here. So I'm going to have to move these out. Jay, can you tell where I'm off? Am I getting them pretty straight across now?
Mm-hmm.
But not to worry, we're going to squirt hairspray down the sides of them and to hold them till they go to the kiln, and trust me, this stays pretty liquid for a while, so I can go back and move them. But all I have is one of the little China painting pipettes. You can use whatever you want to use. I have good old Suave hairspray. I took the lid off, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to come in about so far, and I'm going to squirt this. I'm going to squirt this down the side, and quite honestly, I probably used too much because I just ran out a little bit there. But I will come down this side, and I'm going to come down the other side. And it's running in quite a ways, as you can imagine. And I see areas as I go down through here that really aren't spread apart. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to spread them out just a little bit more. And I'm going to let it dry pretty good before I put it in the kiln.
Oh, Suck it up.
But that's all there is to making a part sheet, and quite honestly, it doesn't take you more than a half an hour to make one. This goes into the kiln for a full fuse. She had us put medium Fritz sprinkled over the top, and we did that, and the first one that I fired at home that way, the frit actually melted into the stringers, and she said to do that because it was an uneven surface, but we're only talking about a millimeter, so in subsequent ones I didn't do it, and I had no problem with them at all. If I think of anything else, I'll add it. If not, let me know if you have any questions.